Good afternoon, everyone. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Very well, thank you. Happy to start a new lesson today with you. So I'm going to share some slides to show you some slides. So just give me a few seconds to share the screen with you. Can you see the slides?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see the first slide?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, welcome to the project video conferencing on Shakespeare through Voicebook with Anthony Green, founder of Voicebook.cloud. First of all, I have to thank our headmaster, Antonio Pirodi, for allowing us to carry out this project, and the English professor Anthony Green for letting me know Voicebook, a new teaching approach based on innovative, interactive listening texts, which enable students to work with recordings that would otherwise be too difficult for them to understand. So a big thank you to all of you, my dear students, Giulio, Rachele, Adele, Martina, Flavia, Rosa, for joining this project and having listened to and successfully completed about 58 voice books so far, together with so many other students in our school, Leonardo da Vinci in Lanusei, Sardegna. So well done to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so before starting practicing with these new listening activities, I think a short introduction to Shakespeare should be done, as I have chosen 5 voice books on him just for you. So as you all know, I started explaining Shakespeare in the classroom before the coronavirus forced all of us to lock down. But I'm not going to stop doing any lessons because of that, especially the ones on Shakespeare, because it would become a very conscious sort of problem for me. So anyway, Adele and Flavia from the 3rd class already know both the historical and literary context of Shakespeare. You also did both the writing and oral test on him in the classroom, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Okay, but here are also Giulio, Rachele, Martina, and Rosa from the 2nd class who haven't studied Shakespeare yet. Have you?
No.
No.
Okay, no problem. Yes, Rosa.
Why did you decide to get all of us together? I mean, students from the 2nd class and the 3rd class.
Okay, this is an interesting question. Well, you will discover the reason little by little during this video lesson, Rosa. Don't be impatient. Just know that I'd like you to improve your listening skills. And the activities provided by Professor Green will help you a lot in that and will also compensate for the little time we have at school. But before starting with the listening activities, I'd like Adele and Flavia to introduce Shakespeare and his historical and literary background. So I want you two to be tutors. Well, you know how to be tutors, Adele and Flavia, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. You always do that in the classroom with your classmates. So you can do the same now with your younger schoolmates, can't you?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All right, great. So let's get started. I'll help you with some slides. Pay attention, everyone, now, please. Well, Adele, start the lesson. Come on.
Yes. William Shakespeare is the greatest English playwright and poet. He was born on the 23rd of April in 1564 in Stratford. He was the son of John and Mary Arden. He went to Stratford Grammar School, where he learned Greek and Latin, but he had no university education. He married Anne Hathaway and had 3 children. And in 1585, he left Stratford and went to London, where he tried his fortune by attending to the horses outside the playhouse. Can I go on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So in 1592, he had become a well-known actor and one of the most famous playwrights in Elizabethan London. He had become important enough to attract attention and even jealousy. A few years later, he joined the Lord Chamberlain's men and became a shareholder in the Globe Theatre. And finally, he bought New Place, the finest house in Stratford, where he died in 1616. So are there any questions?
Yeah. You said that Shakespeare was one of the greatest playwrights during the Renaissance. Who were the others? I mean, what's the difference between Shakespeare and the other dramatists?
Shakespeare didn't go to university, differently from the so-called university wits, who had been educated at either Cambridge or Oxford. As I previously said, he went to Stratford Grammar School, where he learned Greek and Latin.
Do you remember the names of the others?
Sure. John Lilly, Thomas Lodge, Thomas Kidd, Robert Greene, and George Peele. Christopher Marlowe, author of Dr. Faustus, is sometimes considered one of the group. I'll send you some worksheets on them later.
I suppose that their fortune finished when Shakespeare's Rising Star began its magic course.
Exactly. Their fortune finished in the early 1590s.
Why was he so different from the others?
He was of no age. Like all geniuses, his works went beyond the limits of his own age. Actually, he is of no age. His works have universal features and are always popular because of the way in which he deals with modern themes.
In which way?
He had the so-called negative capability.
What?
Shakespeare didn't write to change the world or to send a message, but only to create beauty through art. John Keats, a romantic poet, said that Shakespeare was the prime example of negative capability, according to which a poet can identify completely with his characters and write about them with empathy. He could recognize negative aspects in life, such as doubts and uncertainties. And he didn't want to solve problems, but only to explore them. And thus Shakespeare represented human nature in such a way to let his readers make their own religious, moral, and philosophical judgments about it.
Yes, Shakespeare has been praised for his knowledge of the human heart, for his superb poetry, his theatrical skills, his ability to create living worlds of people, while himself remaining like the god of creation, invisible, indifferent, paring his fingernails, to quote James Joyce.
What does paring his fingernails mean?
Oh yes, it means just cutting his fingernails. Okay, that is to have nothing else but to do. In this case, it is a metaphor, meaning that the artist is a silent observer, drumming his fingernails on the table. Can you see my fingernails?
No.
Okay,
No.
just Can you see now my fingernails?
Yes.
Yes. So the artist is a silent observer drumming his fingernails on the table and slowly disappearing.
Dove
Raga,
Professore.
Boh, se la
buggata.
professoressa è andata, io me ne posso anche andare se non dà fastidio a nessuno.
Questa idea mi piace questa idea.
Giulio, where are you going, Giulio? I'm here behind the camera. Why do you speak in Italian? I cannot leave you a second. Speak English.
Okay.
Speak English, please.
Okay.
Come on, Flavia. Flavia, go on with the lesson, please.
Okay. We then to identify Shakespeare with the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, who reigned during the 16th century, from 1558 to 1603. But Shakespeare went on writing after James I's accession to the throne. So we can divide the age of Shakespeare into two periods, the Elizabethan age and the Jacobean age. The age of Queen Elizabeth was called Golden Age because thanks to her, Britain became a world power and conquered the New World, but also for the success of poetry, prose, and above all drama. But also because after defeating the Spanish Armada in 1588, it became the master of the sea.
Will you please repeat why England became the master of the sea during the Elizabethan age?
Yes, because in 1588 it defeated the Spanish Armada.
Flavia, will you please tell your classmates what this slide suggests?
Yes, it is Shakespeare's Globe. It was built for the first time in 1599, but in 1613 it went on fire because a cannon exploded during a play. So it was built for the second time in 1614, but it was closed by the Puritans, sorry.
Mhm.
And then Queen Elizabeth II opened it for the third time in 1997, thanks to the American actor, director, and producer Sam Wanamaker. Can I go on?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The drama was the main achievement of the century. It represented the main court entertainment. The Elizabethan playhouse was small, circular, or octagonal in shape, and it was built around a courtyard or a pit, where the poorest spectators stood. And the rows of galleries provided seating arrangements covered by the roof for those who paid more. The stage was a large platform called outer stage or apron stage. And there was a second place called inner stage, used by the actors as a tiring house or a dressing room. And over the back of the apron stage, there was a third place called upper stage, used by musicians. The actors entered or disappeared through two doors or through a trapdoor on the floor of the apron stage. Much was left to the imagination of the public because there was little scenery on the stage.
To be honest, I cannot imagine a stage with very little scenery. How was that possible?
Because in the age of Shakespeare, people went to the theater first and foremost to hear plays, not to see them. It was through language that the play made its impact. It was not a theater of action, but of language.
Okay, but how could the audience get information about the setting then?
For example, a chair was sufficient to indicate indoor scenes, or a king wearing his armor was enough to indicate a battlefield, and so on.
Wow, the power of language, it really conquered the audience with its appeal to emotions and imagination.
That's it. It conquered everyone. All social classes went to the theater. Nobles, commoners, citizens, lawyers, people with different tastes and cultural background. It was the dramatist's business to please them all, and Shakespeare did.
Teacher, are there many differences between the interior of the Globe Theatre and the new one?
Not really. The reconstruction is similar to the original, and it is more or less the best guess at Shakespeare's theatre. Well, well done. So you've been very good up to now. After dealing with Shakespeare's historical and literary background, it's time now to consider the scientific revolution of the Shakespearean age. Adela and Flavia, we didn't treat this topic at school, did we?
No.
No.
Okay, so it's time to use Voicebook then. You will discover the scientific revolution of Shakespeare's time, listening to 5 texts from Voicebook. Let's start with the first 2 Voicebooks. So, The Science of Shakespeare Part 1 and The Science of Shakespeare Part 2. Giulio, will you please start with the first part?
Of course.
I'll stop my share,
yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's begin.
Everybody knows William Shakespeare, the playwright and poet.
Okay, I made a mistake because the spelling was wrong. When it's wrong, you hear the sound that you just heard.
Yes.
You have to rewrite the word until it is correct. So I believe it's spelled.
Correct. Right, Giulio, go on.
One of the greatest figures in all of English literature.
Right.
One of the greatest figures in
Okay.
Excellent, excellent, Giulio. Martina, will you please carry on? Thank
Yes.
you, dear. Thank you. Come on. Great.
In London, the reconstructed Globe Theatre stands as a
Great.
monument to Shakespeare's achievement.
Oh, yeah. When the letters are missing, you see the asterisks, and
Mhm.
you have to replace them with the correct letter.
Yes, so? Very good. Very good, Martina. Very
you.
good. Well, so, Rosa, will you please continue?
Yes.
Thank you, dear.
But Shakespeare just happens to have lived at a remarkable time.
Great.
The period that we now look at as the as the beginning of the scientific revolution.
I
That's
mistyped it for as.
All right. Correct it. Oh, well done. Well done, Rosa. So, it's your turn, Flavia.
Yes. Okay.
It's true that many of the ideas of the medieval
Oh, sorry.
medieval world were still very much alive in Shakespeare's day.
Teacher, can I ask the system for help?
Of course you can.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well done. Well done. Good. Rachele. Rachele,
Yes.
are you there?
Yes.
So it's your turn. Come on.
Okay.
For example, magic and astrology were just about everywhere.
Teacher, can I slow it down, please?
Sorry? I didn't understand.
Can I slow it down, please?
Oh, of course you can. Yeah, slow it down. Yes.
For example, magic and astrology. Were just about everywhere. Were just about everywhere.
Teacher, is everywhere one word?
Yes, it is one word.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, pay attention. There's a mistake there. The spelling is wrong, Rachele.
Yes.
Rewrite it, please. Correct, Rachele, correct. Well, Martina, are you ready?
Yes.
Come on.
But at the same time, new ideas were on the horizon.
Okay. Okay, Martina. Okay, don't worry, it's okay. So, Adele, will you please do the other one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ideas about the human body, the earth. And the universe. Ideas that would soon transform. Western thought.
Brilliant, brilliant. Flavia, will you please do the last one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe Shakespeare was more conscious of those. Ideas than we usually imagine.
Well done, everybody. So now I've got something else to tell you. Well, you have successfully completed the first part. You can carry on by yourselves now, doing the second part of the Science of Shakespeare. If you want, you can work in groups. Let's meet again in about 15 minutes. So, goodbye for now. See you later in about 15 minutes. Okay? Goodbye. Goodbye. See you later.
Goodbye.
See you later.